Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Turin here with another Warhammer Total War online commentary. So in this battle, I will be playing, it looks like against the vampire counts. So let's go ahead and play a nice, fun Empire army here. So we can get Volkmar the Grim. I'm not a fan of the War Altar or Sigmar. For some reason, it just, I don't know, it doesn't click with me. So if we do go with the upgraded Warhorse, we will get additional armor at the cost of speed. So armor is pretty decent against vampire counts. So let's go ahead and get that with regeneration, which will be nice and solid. Lore of Fire, I think, is just an absolute staple. So we will put him, we can just go into cheaper Warhorse. Let's cut some corners, guys. Again, getting the Flaming Sword of Ruin is just so good. So we'll get that. And let's see, what do we want to get in terms of infantry? So how we could go with the Flagellants. That's always a good time. So great swords are just going to be a great choice. So let's try something a little weird. So let's bring great swords to deal with these guys and flagellants to deal with fodder. Let's see how this goes. Although I feel like it's so haggard to not bring at least some halberdiers. So let's just do that. This is just going to be just straight up jank, guys. So please forgive me. I have to hurry. This guy's picking real quick here. So let's go ahead and put him and get the potion here. And as far as troops goes, let's get the silver bullets. Let's get some. Do we want to get that? Do we want to just get the witch hammer? And let's get rid of one of these guys. Let's get these guys, and then we can get some spearmen. So this is a really janky army, guys. This is probably one of the worst armies I've put together in a while, but it's very dependent on its greatswords. So hopefully he does bring a lot of armored graveguard and things like that. And the hammer of the witches, if you can defend it, it can do pretty well. I wanted to bring the magic bullets, but I just kind of ran out of time there and didn't have a lot of time to think it through. So we'll see how this goes. Should be fun. All right, a nice open map. Hopefully the cannons can generate some good results here. And cannons are very risky against vampire counts because if they do bring a ton of fellbats, they can just shut them down. So, all right, so let's see how this goes. Should be a party, guys. And I didn't get to bring as many flagellants as I liked. All right, so we can put these guys here in the front here. We can put the cannons back here behind them. Let's spread them out just a little bit because I don't want like one group of fellbats to be able to tie them both down. So let's do that. That looks good. And then we can bring great swords here and great swords here. We can bring the flagellants here. They can kind of be the fellbat beatdown squad. And then we can put. Oh, why are these guys should be in a separate group? All right. So then we want spearmen back here. Spearmen can kind of. Yeah, spearmen can be in like the secondary flank, so when the cryptors do eventually get through, they'll be there to deal with them. And then we can put this group of great swords here, and then we can put the bright wizard here. A lot of it, not bright wizard, excuse me, the Empire Captain. So to a large extent, I'm gonna have to be reforming my formations pretty aggressively. We can put Volkmar right in the front. He's pretty good to have in the front line. Those buffs are just game changers. We can put our wizard in group 3. So, all right, so we got the cannons online, and looks like he has ton of fellbats. So he has the tithe. I'm trying to find the sternsmen here. Yeah, so let's go ahead and start shooting right at the sternsmen. That's going to be a great target because they are a high value unit. They do regenerate, so any damage I can get onto them is going to be pretty good. So right now I'm actually feeling pretty good about this investment in all these greatswords because you guys can see how heavy of a focus he put on these guys here. And the cannons are doing pretty decent work. Going ahead and shooting at the sternsmen there and getting them down a little bit. And what does he have over there? Some black knights. So hopefully the spearmen, which I have here, so the spearmen I'm going to pull back and use them to deal with the black knights. So right now the biggest thing is going to be dealing with the fellbats. So I'm just going to go ahead and just put them here and then put this Empire. He's just going to try and land on my cannons, so I might as well have my troops literally standing on the cannons waiting for them. So okay, so that's fine and that is fine. Let's get the Empire Captain here, and the flagellants will be able to cut through those pretty quickly. So I'm going to use my defensive buff here just to kind of try and keep those bats from getting in here, but you can see they're getting cut down fairly quickly, which is good. So the cannons aren't taking much damage either, and the flagellants are going to be very good at dealing with these guys. So let's go ahead and do that. And again, I have to be really on top of these freaking black knights back here because those can just be absolutely devastating when he does get in here. So let's go ahead and reform this rank here, and these greatswords need to get back in formation here. Do not want to waste too much time dealing with the bats. But, you know, he did invest a lot, so at the very least, you know, I just got rid of quite a bit of resources, you know, and my cannons are in good health. So if I can, like, restabilize, I'm gonna put these guys back here, and the spearmen, I do want them to be kind of mirroring those guys over here. So, all right, so, oh, it looks like he summoned some zombies. So as far as leadership goes, he has Vlad von Karstein, so definitely going to be, so let's use that bombardment here. It's going to be pretty good. And let's get the great swords here. No, those are skeleton spearmen, unfortunately. So not the best engagement, but they will eventually get onto these guys. So, oh, it looks like he has the chill guys back here. So let's go ahead and give the flame damage there, and then the cascading fire cloak over here will be pretty good. Looks like he is just doing a little bit of cycle charging, but these guys, the chill guys, are going to go down very hard to that damage. So, all right, so we got Volkmar in here. He's in the front line. Kind of want him to mirror Vlad because Vlad is going to be a huge threat. So we'll do that here. Send these guys after them, and this group of spearmen over here as well. So again, I'm just going to have to hold. I'm kind of playing this like I would a dwarf game, in that, you know, I want these guys to really just try and hold the line here. And the chill guys did take some serious losses. So let's go ahead and you don't want to chase ever, guys. It's definitely not good. So let's turn the cannons here and just have them start shooting. Because now that I've kind of secured the back line here, the cannons are going to be, you know, pretty solid. All right, so I got my defensive lines back up, and we just want to secure those cannons. That's going to be a big, big plus for me if I can do that. So let's get those great swords in the front line. VOLKMA'R's here. All right, everything's sitting kind of pretty here, guys. So those cannons are now going to turn and start firing here on these guys, which is great. It is unfortunate that I'm having to use great swords in this defensive pocket, but you know, it could be much worse, guys. So let's go ahead and re-engage here, and thankfully just in time for my flaming Sword of Ruin. So these guys are going to get cut up when that buff goes off. It's going to be really bad for them. And looks like he did summon, or the tithe did get through, so the zombies did get through, unfortunately. VOLKMA'R's in there. Make sure to be periodically using his buffs. And yeah, so you can see the flame damage on those did pretty good, and it looks like he was able to shut down one of my cannons over here. So that's unfortunate, but at the very least, he is like investing a ton of resources to like try and dive in on them. And let's go ahead and try and finish off these zombies really quick. And they're just doing some work in there. So we can use these halberdiers. And okay, so those units are starting to get a little bit of low. A little bit of low. They're starting to get low, so I'm going to save some of my resources here. Use a potion here. Keep them engaged here. We got this cannon just continuing to fire here. So let's go ahead and engage here. And he's going after my Bright Wizard a little bit. So let's pull him and let's use this buff. Let's use Cascading Fire Cloak here just to give them that little oomph that they need. And this cannon's online. Let's send the spearmen over here. See if I can give them some separation here and continue to shoot at these guys. In the front line, things are going okay, but you guys have to keep in mind that Vlad von Karstein is there, and he is a force to be reckoned with, I'm telling you. Just absolute beast in melee. And those zombies did shut down my cannon here, so a little bit dicey here. Let's go ahead and looks like he's gonna be trying to get in there, so let's get them here, and that's perfect. Those spearmen are gonna be essentially just waiting for them. So let's use the Flaming Sword of Ruin again to give me that fire buff, which is just so good against those ethereal cavalry. So, like I was telling you guys, Lord of Fire is definitely an optimal choice against the vampire counts. And right now, they're going to start crumbling. There's no way that they can't. And the great swords are doing pretty well. Thankfully, that investment in all of them was not a bad choice. But it looks like this janky army comp. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell if I'm winning right now, to be honest. But, you know, at the end of the day, it seems to be doing okay. So let's make sure to get those guys back on the cannon and have it start teeing off on the cavalry again. Does he have any cavalry targets left? Doesn't really look like it, but regardless, we'll target it here and make sure everything's going. And he did get Vlad back here, so let's go ahead and get... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to keep VOLKMA'R in the front line because Vlad is, you know, Vlad's where Vlad wants to be. So, you know, not much is going to change over there. So let's go ahead and we need to win that infantry battle over there. So I'm going to send my big Zerg force here because these guys are just crumbling. So they'll be gone shortly. And let's also get VOLKMA'R over here so reap the benefits of all his different buffs. Let's keep the flagellants on Vlad. They'll be pretty good against him because they'll just fight and occupy him for as long as possible. So infantry are doing well over here. These great swords are, you know, they're getting around to cleaning up the Sternsmen. This is actually good. We can keep this Empire Captain here to deal with them. And I'm really overwhelming his force because the Cascading Fire Cloak and the Flaming Sword of Ruin are just making my guys super cost effective. And bringing that really dense pack of great swords was also quite good here. And then, so the Lord of Fire in conjunction with the buffs that VOLKMA'R provides are just going to be very, very hard for my opponent to deal with. So let's go ahead and jump on Vlad. We can pull a group of spearmen over here. And then maybe just bring like a group of great swords over here as well would be good. Just to finish this group up. And let's bring these guys over here, consolidate our forces, make sure to be using the buffs every chance you get. And yeah, things are going. It looks like most of his troops are crumbling too, which is great. So, all right. What does he have left? He has some Graveguard, and he has Vlad von Karstein. And Vlad is like always one of the last targets to die. He's just such a force to be reckoned with. Thankfully, VOLKMA'R's in pretty good health as well. So let's get him on here, and these guys need to get back on their cannon. It could actually help here in a little bit. And it looks like those troops here are, they're all crumbling out, so it's just Vlad. And yeah, that's all she wrote, guys. That was quite a battle, but sometimes those unorthodox army compositions work against the vampire counts, because a lot of times when I play Empire, you know, I try and match them in cavalry warfare, and you know, it's pretty hard to do. So bringing the cannons forces them in, and then if you have ample defenses as well as lower fire, it can be pretty good. So definitely a weird, janky army composition, but it actually worked out at the end of the day. You can see the chill guys. I actually didn't even see them. Sometimes I just tunnel vision, and of course the Vanguard deployment, out of sight, out of mind. And the cannons did get quite a few kills against the Sternsmen as well as the cavalry, so not a complete loss. But these great swords, man, just MVPs, especially with that lower fire. Goodness, they were quite strong. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that game, and really good game to my opponent, Gobblerino. It was a lot of fun. Always fun to fight Vlad. He is quite a force to be reckoned with, and hope you guys enjoyed it. So have an excellent night, and more content coming soon. Take care, guys.